are saying that the American people are with Democrats when it comes to opposing Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. But where are Americans in terms of...
Okay, I'm going to get so annoyed with the way that they present this stuff, where they'll say, like, well, a lot of Americans are blaming the Democrats. And I'm worried that, like, the Democrats are going to see that and get scared and get cold feet and not actually present a strong response. I'm in France for GP Explorer. I will be the English broadcaster for GP Explorer. Okay? Democrats will cave, give it 1 week. I don't have a lot of confidence. I do not have a lot of confidence in the Democratic Party. I will be honest with you. Having said that, we just have to hope that they can get some concessions from the Republicans, even though that sounds so far out in the distance. It sounds impossible. The reason why, you know how these motherfuckers work.
How they feel about this shutdown right now. CNN's Harry Anton is running the numbers on this. What are you seeing?
Yeah, what are we seeing? This is an American public that more so than ever before I've looked at the polling is willing to go to a shutdown. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. What Americans wanted...
Boom. That's all I needed to hear. That's enough. Holy Toledo, okay? Holy Toledo. The very fact that there's 49% appetite for stand-on principle in 2025 is enough, okay? This is not supposed to be a popular position. It's like strikes. Work stoppages are controversial, okay? They're damaging. They're scary. People don't know. People don't know what might happen. There's a lot of instability that comes with it. But this is leverage. This is the only leverage that the Democrats have to fight back against the administration taking money directly out of your pockets, taking money out of your health care. That's why they're doing this. And I really, really hope that the Democrats can stress the importance of that over and over again, because this is an opportunity to stand on a visible platform and say, this is why we're doing it. Nobody wants a shutdown. The Republicans refuse to give assurances and protect people's health care.
Shutdown. Well, traditionally speaking, I got the 2013 numbers. The majority of Americans want compromise, no shutdown. You go back to 2013, just 33% said stand on principle, even if it means a shutdown. Come to this side of the screen, we see an even split, right? 50% of Americans say they want a compromise, no shutdown. But up like a rocket, standing on principle, we see now 49%, basically an even split on Americans either wanting a shutdown or, in fact, saying they want their side to stand on principle. I think we're hearing a lot of that from Chuck Schumer.
When it's a Democratic White House and GOP Congress, GOP is happy to shut down the government to hold their line because it's beneficial to them. When it's a GOP White House, they want the same no matter what. They have little motivation to reopen because they're conservative. I don't think so, because I think that considering that they control the White House and Congress, considering that they control the White House and Congress right now, this will look like a severe incompetence that will lay squarely on the shoulders of the Republican Party. If the Democrats message correctly, they will be able to actively shift the attention away to the ways in which the Republicans are cutting their health care, which is incredibly important. And not only that, but also they will be able to put the blame on the Republican Party and their incompetence and their inability to address this pressing demand. Nearly $8 billion in green new scam funding to fuel the left's climate agenda is being canceled. The projects are in the following states. So fucking stupid. That's jobs, man. That's jobs. That's jobs in states, okay, where Republicans will be working as well. I know that these are, for the most part, blue states, and that is by design, for the record. If you noticed, they're not cutting funding or canceling projects that were allocated to jobs in red states, okay? They're such fucking assholes, dude. They're such animals. How do you deal with this shit, dude? How do you deal with a government that has identified half the population as its enemy? And it's ironic because they used to say Joe Biden is doing this when he says that, like, MAGA Republicans represent a threat to this country, but he never did shit like this. You know what I mean? It's so crazy that they're just openly waging war on Democratic cities and Democratic states. And it is obvious that they're like so careless about it too. They just don't care. Like they're not thinking about the impact of this.
Democrats, the party of open borders, transgender for everybody.
Oh my Lord, brother, you can't put that in an ad, man. That's so dumb. They're so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. What do you say? What do you even fucking say to this shit, bro? Federal workers are getting being told to blame Democrats for the shutdown. Workers at one agency were given unhinged partisan language to use when setting out of office replies. What do you say to that? Like, this is unheard of. The Hatch Act is for nothing. Okay, it doesn't exist. Seemingly, it's just it's nothing. It's fake. They're using they're using otherwise like nonpartisan instruments to directly make partisan appeals for one party over the other in a way that I've never seen before.
Well, thank you, Carolina, and good afternoon to everybody, and good afternoon to everybody who's watching at home. It's a tough act to follow, but let me just say a few things, then I'll take a few questions. The Chuck Schumer AOC wing of the Democratic Party shut down the government because they said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for health care for illegal aliens. That's a ridiculous proposition. Let me say two other quick things, then.
It's also just straight up a lie. I mean, here, there is one. Caitlin Collins interviewed Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, Michael Penis.
We're rolling the greatest hits on our social media.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the point about giving people who are here illegally health care is not exactly what is in their proposal.
No, it is 100% what their
immigrants
proposal.
who have legal status,
No,
and you're just
Caitlin,
disagreeing
you're
on
wrong.
who's eligible.
No,
I
I'm
looked
not.
at it, actually, because I was curious about your argument yesterday.
You should study the CBO's analysis that they just put out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw
and
that,
you
but
should-
It's a fraction too. Like legal migrants that get the benefits are a fraction of the expenditure that we're talking about. And they just are like, no, you don't understand. It's actually illegal immigrants that are getting $1.5 trillion. It's like, you just made that up, man. That's not true. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for any social expenditures whatsoever. It just doesn't. It's a lie. You're just fucking lying. Just like these dipshits originally lied when they were pushing Build Back Better, or Big Beautiful Bill, sorry. When they were pushing Big Beautiful Bill and Democrats were raising the alarms about $800 billion in Medicaid going away, okay, $800 billion in Medicaid funding going away, they turned around and said, no, we're just cutting it from undocumented migrants. It was a fucking lie.
It was congressional Democrats were taken hostage. And the hostage, it turns out, is critical, essential services that the American people need. Caroline talked about some of it. Let me talk about some more. Our troops are not getting paid starting today because of the Chuck Schumer wing of the Democratic Party. We have people who
Great. Then concede. Then make sure that everybody gets health care. There's always two parties to a negotiation like this, okay? There are two parties here. Concede. If the demands from the Democrats are reasonable and just, in this case, they certainly are, concede. Or own it. Own that you're like, no, I'm going to keep the government not funded. I'm going to keep the government shut down, and all those people are going to suffer because I don't want to fund healthcare, because we gave massive tax cuts to the super wealthy, and we wanted to ensure that our friends that gave us a lot of money kept receiving tax cuts. And obviously, in an effort to justify said tax cuts, we had to cut funding elsewhere. And the elsewhere is you, the American people. You, the American people, will suffer. Your healthcare will be more costly. Your healthcare is already expensive. It's going to be even more expensive.